In today's class, we will see how stacks are used for the implementation of Tower of Hanoi. So in this problem, first they will give you three rods, which are also known as pegs, and end disk will be given. And the size of the disk will be different. Okay, one disk will be larger, one will be smaller, and so on. The size of the disk will be different. And totally three rods are given to us. Let us call the rods as A, B, and C. And initially, when you start your problem, two rods B and C will be initially empty. All the disk, that is all the end disk, will be available only in the rod A. And this rod contains end disk of different diameters, which are placed one over the other. So all the disks are placed in the rod A, one over the other. And when they are placing, there is certain rule to be followed. Disk of smaller diameter will be placed over disk of larger diameter. This is a rule actually. So in this, the objective of the problem is you have to move all the end disk from the rod A to the rod C. Initially, when you start, all are in rod A only. You have to move everything to rod C. While you are moving, you have to follow three rules. The first rule is only one disk can be moved at a time. At a time, you cannot take more than one disk. You have to take only one disk at a time. And second, in each move, you have to take only the disk which is on the top. You cannot take from the middle portion. So you take the disk from the top and then place it on the top of the other stack. That you can do. And the third rule is no larger disk can be placed on the top of a smaller disk. So these three rules we are going to follow. Now let me show you how the problem looks. I have considered a Tower of Hanoi problem with three disks. So these three are representing the disk, and these are the three rods. Totally we have three rods A, B, and C. When you start, try to understand the naming conversion. This rod is the source rod, and this is the destination rod, and whatever is in the middle, that is the auxiliary rod, or otherwise you can say it is an intermediate rod. You can make use of this intermediate rod, and you have to move all the three disks from the source to the destination like this. Okay, so everything should be moved, and at a time while you are moving, you are going to take only one disk at a time, and all the three rules whatever we have seen so far, we are going to follow those rules. Okay, so now how to solve this problem? First we will start with a simple size problem, then we will increase the complexity. Now let us assume that we are going to have a problem with only one disk. So only one disk is given to you. You have to move the disk from A to C, because A is the source, C is the destination. So you can simply take it and put it in the destination disk. That is simple solution. Moving one disk is very simple. Now let us consider the problem with two disks. So two disks are given to you. Both are in the source A. You have to move only one disk at a time. First, what I have to do is I take the first disk, pink color disk is on the top, that is disk 1. Okay, so I am taking the first disk from A, and I am placing it in the auxiliary tower B. Okay, so next I am taking the second, I am proceeding from here. I am taking the second disk, that is green color disk, from A, and I am moving it to C, tower C. After that, in the next move, I am taking the disk B, disk from B, and I am placing it over this disk. Okay, so now you see, whenever you are moving at a time, you have to move only one disk. You cannot take two disks at a time. And in all the things you can see, in any place, smaller disk will be placed over the larger disk, and larger disk will not be placed over the smaller one. So finally, this disk you can take from B, that is a pink one, and you can place it on the top of C. So what we have done totally three moves. At the end of the third move, our output is ready. Okay, so this is the problem with the two disk. Now let us see the problem with the three disk. How to proceed with three disk? So first, this is a diagram given to us. Okay, so you have to come to this particular diagram. When you implement this in the Tower of Hanoi problem, there are three different steps involved. The first step is move n is the total number of disks given to you. The first step is move n minus 1 disk from source to the auxiliary tower. So which is the source tower here? A, and the auxiliary tower is B. You have to move top n minus 1 disk. That is, I am going to take the red one and the pink one, and I will place it in the auxiliary tower. But can you move 2 disks at a time? It is not possible. You can move only 1 disk at a time. In the first step itself, you will call the function recursively because it is not a simple problem. Simple problem means you have to move only 1 disk. But here we are going to move n minus 1 disk. It is not possible in a single move. So you have to recursively call the function again and again. But these are all the 3 steps, basic 3 steps. We will see how it is recursively called in the later slides. So first step is move n minus 1 disk from source to auxiliary. So after that, the top n minus 1 will be moved to the auxiliary as given in the second figure. Now, you see the second figure. What is the next step from here? This green colored disk, that is the nth disk, is free now. Nothing is on the top of it. So you can move this green colored disk from source A to the destination C. So that is the second step. So move the nth disk from source to destination. Now, after that is over, you will get like this. Now, what is the next step? Here you have n minus 1 disk. Okay, so you have to move n minus 1 disk from auxiliary tower to the destination tower. But again, you cannot move all the n minus 1 in a single move. That requires recursive call, right? So after that move is over, you will get like this. Now, there are only 3 steps in tower of an problem. Step number 1 is move n minus 1 disk from source to auxiliary. And step number 2 is after you have moved n minus 1, only 1 will be left. That is the nth disk. Move that disk from source to destination. And step number 3 is move the n minus 1 disk from the auxiliary tower to the destination tower. So we have 3 steps now. Out of the 3 steps, step number 1 is recursive because here you are moving n minus 1 disk. That is not possible in one move. So it is a recursive step. And what about step number 2? It is given that move the nth disk from source to destination. Only 1 disk you are moving. So it is not recursive. That is straightly going to give you the answer. And what about the step number 3? Move n minus 1 disk from auxiliary to destination. Again, n minus 1 disks are there. So it is not a normal move. It is a recursive case. Okay. So out of the 3 steps, first step and third step are recursive calls. Whereas the step number 2 is not recursive. It is going to move simply 1 disk at a time. Now, this is the case of tower of an problem. Let us see first the program for this. Then I will give you the steps involved in this problem. So when you start with the program, you have to write the recursive function. And in the main, you get the number of disks from the user. So I am getting the number of disks and storing it in the variable num. After that, you are going to move what are all the sequence of movements involved in the tower of an problem. The answer is, you will print your answer like this. Like this, you are going to print. You will ask the user to enter the number of disks. Then when the user enters some number n, whatever is the disk movement involved in the tower of an problem, all the disk movement you are going to print. Nothing else. So after getting the number of disks, we are going to print a message that the sequence of movement involved in the tower of an ion likewise. After that, you call the function because you're going to implement with the help of recursive function. There must be a function first. So let the name of the function be TOH, tower of an ion. Then for this function, you have to pass totally 4 arguments. The first argument is currently how many number of disks you are going to move. Okay, so first when you are starting in the 3 disk problem, I told that you are going to start with the 3. The number of disks is 3. So first argument should be the number of disks involved. And the second argument is at that particular point of time, what is the source, what is the intermediate, and what is the destination disk. Don't change the order. Whatever you are giving first is the source disk, that is A. And the second is the auxiliary disk, it is B. Third one is destination disk, it is C. Okay, so totally we are passing 4 arguments to the tower of an problem. Now, what will happen when the control comes here? You are going to call the function. So it will go to this place. Now, you are passing 4 arguments. So receive them in 4 different variables. The first one is integer, number of disk. So I'm declaring a variable int n and I'm storing in that. The next 3 are nothing but the disk letter A, B, C. They are characters. So I'm declaring 3 character variables. The first one is from disk. Second one is auxiliary. Third one I am calling at 2. Okay, so totally we have 3 disks now. Now let us write the recursive function. So in this function, we are going to write the base case and the remaining general cases. So what is the base case here? When you can straightly perform the movement. When there is only 1 disk, There is nothing. You simply move the disk directly from the source to the destination. So this is the base case for TOH problem. So right, if n is equal to 1, move the disk 1. Okay, so when n is equal to 1, that will be the disk 1. So move the disk 1 from peg. Peg is nothing but the tower. Okay, from tower to some tower. So what is your from tower? When you call this function, whatever is available in this from, this will vary for every call. Okay, but at the particular time of calling, whatever is available in the from argument, that is the from disk, and whatever is available in the to argument, that is the to disk. Are going to move disk 1 from disk to the to disk. This is the case when n is equal to 1. Suppose when n is not 1, what we are going to do? If n is 1, you print this and then your problem is over. So you return to the main function. So I am writing a return statement. If n is not 1, what we are going to follow? Just now I told you, if n is not 1, we have totally 3 steps. These 3 steps we are going to write. So what is the first step? Move n minus 1 disk from source to auxiliary. So now concentrate here. So you have to call the function tower of an eye again because you are going to move. What is the number of arguments now? Previously, it is moving n disk. Now you are reducing the problem size. You have to move only n minus 1 disk. So you give n minus 1. Then from where to where you are going to move? See that previous slide. In the previous slide, I told that you have to move from source to the auxiliary. Okay, so focus here. Here only students will do mistake. So in the source, you write from because this is a from tower. Okay, and then you are going to move from the source to the auxiliary. So in the destination part, you have to write the auxiliary. So remember, whatever comes first is the source, middle is the auxiliary, third one is the destination. Now your aim is you have to move n minus 1 disk from the source to the auxiliary. That is, auxiliary is going to play as a destination since you are going to move there. So write from in the from part, to in the auxiliary part, and then auxiliary in the to part. Now we are going to write the second step. In the second step, you are going to move the nth disk from the source to the destination. That is the second step. There are 3 steps I told you. Now I am going to write the second step. Move the nth disk. That n can be anything. We don't know what is that n. It can be 1 or it can be 2 or it can be 3. Okay. So move the nth disk from the source to the destination. So I am writing move disk n is anything. So I am writing %d from source. This source can be anything to the destination. Okay. So this can also be anything. So now what you are going to print for these 3 variables? For the first %d, you have to print n because you are going to move the nth disk. With respect to that particular function call, what is n? That only. For example, if you are calling this function with n is equal to 5, n is 5. If you call n as 4, n is 4. And in that particular call, whatever is the n value, that you have to print. Okay. Then from disk to disk. So in from part, you write from, and in the to part, you write to. Then what is the next step? You have to move the n minus 1 disk which you have placed in the auxiliary to the destination. Previously, we have placed n minus 1 disk from this to the auxiliary disk. Those we have to move from auxiliary to the destination. So we are writing tower of an eye n minus 1. So what is our source now? It is the auxiliary disk because we are going to move from there. To where you are going to move? From the auxiliary to the destination. That is the to disk. So in the destination, you write 2. Okay, and while you are moving, you are going to take the remaining disk as an auxiliary disk. So whatever you are writing in the center is the auxiliary disk. So which is pending now? Auxiliary is over, 2 is over, pending is from. So the from disk can be used as a spare disk while you are moving because at a time you cannot move all. So you need some spare to place the remaining. For that, you are going to use the third disk, that is the from disk. So this, now let us see how the program will work. First, you see the first step what we are writing, move n minus 1 disk recursively from source A to the auxiliary B using C, that is the destination. You are going to move from A to B, that is from source to the auxiliary only. So when I start the step, this will be my input. When I finish the step, this will be my output. If you see this output, we have moved n minus 1 disk to the auxiliary tower. So how we are going to move? How many steps are involved in this movement? We are writing only one statement in the function, but to implement that statement, so many recursive steps will be happening. So what are the steps will be happening? That we will see now. First, what will happen is, from here you want to achieve this one. The first step is to implement this, certain steps will be done. So what are the steps? The first step is, first disk, that is red color disk, will be moved from A to C. This is the first step. Okay. After that, the second disk, that is the pink color disk, will be moved from A to B. So you will have like this. Then after that, you have, after the three steps are over, you are getting this problem. Actually, when we are writing, we are saying that move n minus 1 disk from source to the auxiliary. But internally, three steps are happening to implement that. Okay, so after the three steps are over, you will be getting this answer. But next, what is the second step? After you have moved n minus 1 disk, you will be getting like this. The next step is move the nth disk from the source to the destination. So after the move, your output will be like this. The green color is moved from source A to the destination C. This is a step number 2. Now let us see the step number 3. What is step number 3? Move n minus 1 disk recursively from B to, that is the auxiliary tower B, to the destination C using source A. Okay, so now when you start this step, this will be your input. When you finish this step, this will be your output. Let us see how this is happening. First, what I will do, this I have, okay, I will start with this. This red color disk, that is disk 1, I'll be placing in A, that is the source disk. After that, this pink color disk, I'll move from B to C. Okay, now in the next step, I'll move the disk from A to C. So in three steps, I am achieving this one. Okay, but we are writing only one statement, but it will take three steps to achieve this. This is done during the recursion, right? So now these are all the movements involved in the tower of Hanoi problem. When you run the program by entering the number of disks as 3, whatever movements we have discussed so far, all the movements will be printed. So let us see one phrasing for this. So when you start your program, you are calling the function tower of Hanoi by passing 3 as n, because number of disks involved is 3. Then you will say the 3 towers. The towers are always 3, irrespective of number of disks. Number of disks can be even 5, but towers are only 3. Okay. So now when you call for the first time, the order is A, B, and C. Source, auxiliary, and then destination. Okay. So when you call this function, what is happening when the function tower of Hanoi is called? The control goes here. Okay, now three steps you will have. Okay, if n is equal to 0, it is over. If not, you will have three steps. Now this only we are going to see now. So I am calling with the 3, a comma b comma c. Then when 3 is passed to the function, there are three steps we have. First, we are going to check whether n is equal to 1. Now n is 3, it is not 1. So it will not go to the base case, it will go to the general case. In the general case, we have again three steps. So those three steps will be executed. Focus here. What is your first step? You have to move n minus 1 disk from the source to the auxiliary. Okay, so now you see, you have to consider the previous call. With respect to the previous call, you have to write this one. Okay, now this is the previous call. You have to move n minus 1 disk. Here n is 3, so n minus 1 is 2. So write 2 here. From where to where you have to move? From the source to the auxiliary. Here source is A, auxiliary is B. Okay, and remember, while you are writing this call, whatever is the from, that you write in the first argument. Whatever is the destination, that you have to write in the third argument. Okay, this is the thing. First, you are going to move n minus 1 disk. So here I am writing n minus 1 is 2. From where I am going to move? From the source to the auxiliary. So here, what is the source? You write as a source. A is the source, so I am writing as a source. Then in the 2 part, you have to write auxiliary, because you are going to move to auxiliary. So what is auxiliary here? B is auxiliary. So that you have to write it as a destination. Whatever is the moved n minus 1 disk, this 2 is not disk number 2. 2 disk you are going to move. It can be any disk number. 2 disk you are going to move. Move 2 disk, that is n minus 1. N is 3, so n minus 1 is 2. From source to the auxiliary. So you see here, source is A, so write that first. To auxiliary you are going to move. Here auxiliary is B, that will become the destination now, because the word is move from source to auxiliary. Auxiliaries would be the destination for that. Now, what is the second step? Whatever is here, it is n minus 1. You have moved n minus 1 disk. So what is the second step I have written? Move the nth disk from source to the destination. That is the thing I told you. So what is n? N minus 1 is 2. So n will be 3. So move disk 3 from source, which is source here A, to destination. Destination is C. So that is your next step. Then what is the other step? One more step is pending. The third step is move n minus 1 disk from auxiliary to the destination. Okay, so with respect to this only you have to see, because from here only you are calling this. So move n minus 1 disk. N is 3, so n minus 1 is 2. So write it. From where you are going to move to where? From auxiliary to destination. See here what is auxiliary. B is auxiliary. So that you have to write as a source, because the word is move n minus 1 from auxiliary to destination. So auxiliary will become the source now. That is B will be the source to destination. Destination is C. That will become the destination here, C. Whatever is pending, you write it in the middle. So A is pending, so I am writing it in the middle. That means for that move, I'll be using A as the temporary disk. Okay. So when I pass 3 as argument, first time it is calling like this. Now, in this, your function is not going to stop, because here in tower of an eye, you have 2 as the argument. When it is 1, that time only the base case will be reached. Now it is not 1, it is 2. So again, there will be a recursive call. So now this tower of an eye will call tower of an eye again. So for this one, I am writing again 3 steps. Similarly, you see the second step, this is not a recursive call. This is simple move, leave it. Now see the bottom one, again it is a tower of an eye problem, because here it is 2. So for this again, there will be 3 steps. It is recursively calling again. Now let us focus on the first one. When you consider this, you have to consider this as a function call. This call is calling this one. Okay. So now what are the three steps? First step is move n minus 1 disk from source to auxiliary. See here, n is 2. So n minus 1 you have to move. So 1 disk you have to move. Okay. From where to where? From source to auxiliary. So what is the source here? A. So write it as a source in this. To auxiliary. What is auxiliary here? C. Write it as a destination. So now first step is over. And second step, you have moved n minus 1 disk. So nth disk is now pending. That nth disk you have to move from source to the destination with respect to this call only. So what is the nth disk? Disk number 2. So move disk 2 from where to where? Source to destination. Here source is A and destination is B. So move disk 2 from A to B. That is my second statement. Now, what is the third statement? Move the n minus 1 disk from auxiliary to the destination. So n is 2, n minus 1 is 1. So you are writing 1. From where to where you are going to move? From auxiliary to destination. So auxiliary here is C. Okay, write it as a source now. And the destination here is B. Write it as the destination. Whatever is pending, write it as the intermediate tower. Okay, now I have this function call. So this one call is now giving these 3 statements. Now, what will happen here? In this, you have tower of one eye with n as 1. When n is equal to 1, what is your answer? When n is equal to 1, that is the base case. So you will write move disk 1 from source to destination. So here, source is A and destination is C. So you will write move disk 1 from A to C. Then this is also n is 1. So for this also you will have move disk 1 from this source to this destination. Here source is C and destination is B. So you will write that. Now this part is over. What about this part? Similarly, whatever I have explained so far, likewise you have to run these steps also. Now here I have n as 2. So I have to move n minus 1 disk. So I am writing 1 from source to the auxiliary. Source is B here and auxiliary is A. So in source I will write B, in destination I will write auxiliary A. Then move the nth disk from source to the destination. So the nth disk is nothing but disk 2. So move disk 2 from source to the destination. Source is B, destination is C. So write it. Then in the next step, move n minus 1 disk from auxiliary to the destination. So n is 2. So n minus 1 is 1. So write it. From auxiliary to destination. See this, auxiliary is A, so write it first, and destination is C, write it at the last. Intermediate is now the pending one, that is B. Now you have two calls in this, again two recursive calls, solve them. Here n is 1. When n is 1, your recursion is final, it has reached the base case. So you have to write move disk 1 from source to the destination. So in this, source is B and destination is A. So you write move disk 1 from B to A. Then in this, again 1, so base case is reached. So move disk 1 from source to destination. Source is A here and destination is C. So write it. Now, how you have to write the output? If I give you a tree structure like this, how you have to write the output? That is very, very important. See here, you have to start from the last column in this. Okay, whatever you have, whatever is your last trace, start from there. Okay, first write this statement. Okay, this statement you got from here. Okay, you see the arrow now. Arrow is going like this. First write this statement. After that, you go to this. Right? The statement what you will write as output is move disk 1 from A to C. After that, you follow the red arrow, go here. Now, because of this only, this statement is printed. That means it is over. What is the next statement? Move disk 2 from A to B. So that also printed. This is the second output. First output is this one. This is the second output. After this, you have called this one. For this, you went to this place. So you print this statement now. Move disk 1 from C to B. This is a third statement. Then you have the red arrow. So go back. Now nothing in this. All the three calls are over. That means you have to transfer control back to the calling function. So you go here. These three are printed due to the first call only. That is over. Okay. Now you print the second line. Move disk 3 from A to C. So this is the fourth print statement. This is the first print statement. The second one is this one. Third is move disk 1 from C to B. And fourth print statement is move disk 3 from A to C. 4 are over. Now you have the lower recursive call. For this recursive call, we have this one. In that, we have again called this function. Here, this is the base case. So you print this output. So move disk 1 from B to A. This will be printed. After that, follow the red arrow. Go here. This is over. So the next is move disk 2 from B to C. Print that. Okay. So this is statement number 5 and this one is statement number 6. Next, this is executed. So we are going to this. This is a base case. So move disk 1 from A to C will be printed. Now there is the red arrow. Follow that. All the three statements are over. So again, go back here. Here also all the three statements are over. So go back to the main function call. That is TOH. You will go here. So totally, how many printf statements have been printed? If you see, totally 7 statements are printed. So if you have a tower of an eye problem with n disk, the total number of movements involved is 2 power n minus 1. Here n is 3. So 2 power 3 minus 1. 2 power 3 is 8. 8 minus 1, 7. 7 moves are required for a tower of an eye problem with 3 disks. Suppose if you have 4 disks like this, when you run the program, now you are going to run the program. When you run the program, give 4 disks and run, you will totally get 2 power 4 minus 1. That is 16 minus 1 equal to 15 moves you will get. In your output, you will get 15 lines, which will tell you in which sequence you are going to move the disk. So with this, tower of an eye problem is over. If you have any doubt,